I'm Ryan O'Dowd, and you're listening to Ryan's Audiobooks on the Issues Magazine YouTube channel. Today we're continuing with Section 3.7, the Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. We're picking up at the beginning of Storming Jacob's Ladder. OCI. We curse the Holy Spirit and find our freedom now on earth. No beings reign above us, none below. We are our own masters. We seek the light that we are. The world is ours to build as we see fit. We are gods and will be rewarded as gods. The Prime Initiate. Science as Miracle. In ancient times, the liar spoke more often, whispering false, misleading things, seeking the attention of mortal humans. One night during the dry season, many thousands of years ago, the liar preached to Mabaram, promising miracles of faith. Mabaram did not know what this teaching meant. In the before times, miracles did not exist. Their concept was unformed. The need to lie was unrecognized. The proof was evident from appearances. The gods were fables. When Mabaram heard the lies, he jumped in ecstasy at the realization. Great Lord, are you telling me that through mere words spoken in great confidence I can heal the sick? Through faith in me you can do all manner of fantastic things. Healings are but one. The liar responded. Mabaram immediately rushed into the populace to spread this new teaching. Several thousands of years later, we are still waiting for practical results. Despite the false claims of spiritual miracles, millions die each year of disease. None raise from the dead. Even children are sacrificed in the endless consumption of flesh. But this sadness can be overcome. The punishment can be defeated. Not through spirit or faith, but by engineering and knowledge, we can build a better world. We can build a human of unending longevity. By studying, experimenting, and creating, we can overcome the problem of death, a problem religion has lied to us about since early civilization. Science as miracle, old gods as liars. Through and in our own effort, we can remake the world. Transmuting flesh. The Prime Initiate was the first attempt at true immortality. Others had spoken to him about it several times over the years, before he was no longer here. The path to immortality started with an admission of the weakness of the human body. It was soft, it decayed, it was easily defeated. When the Premier thought on it, it seemed obvious that the best method going forward would be to change the flesh into something else. So he put before himself an alchemical work, not unlike the ancient hermits had attempted, only material rather than spiritual. He reasoned that if he could replace all his weak, limited organs with a more permanent metal frame, he could extend his life for as long as he could maintain and repair the new shell. The process would be difficult. There's no way to remove flesh without experiencing pain. There'd be no way to add the plates of metal without adjusting to the new weight and volume. So he hid himself in the least populated place on Earth, in a region still cold enough to freeze blood on contact with the air. He worked for decades, slowly replacing each organ system with a patchwork of welds and wires. You too can adopt this path, to augment the body with technology, to continue to manifest upgrades and forge, literally, a new identity as a transhuman. This is a special path, not meant for all. Consider it with caution. If you choose, embrace it with trepidation. Prophecy by design. The prophets of the past spoke in grandiloquent words of the awesome holiness of their gods. They went to the mountains, to the deserts, to the seas, to meet with the source of their inspiration. They brought back their messages, making themselves the mouthpieces of their personal divinities. This is not the nature of the prophets of the OCI. Whether our members, the Prime Initiate, or even Lucifer Sophia, our prophets speak only for themselves. Our prophets are made of materia and sealed by Lucifer, but neither they nor Lucifer require your belief or evangelism. Our prophets, including Lucifer Sophia, are not out to condemn you. Their goal is to inform you, to encourage you, to reveal our agenda. They always point back to yourself, to your own divinity, to your own reason, to your own motives. They do not beg you for worship, but rather teach you to trust yourself. In that spirit, our prophecies are not proclamations of the future works of gods or spirits. They are not apocalyptic. They do not serve as warnings to terrify you. The purpose of our prophecies is to tell you our aims and goals: the Tower, Lucifer Sophia, the Prime Initiate, space travel, immortality, the integration of all humans on Earth and in the universe. These are our prophecies. The success of our prophecies does not depend on the future actions of imaginary gods. They depend on the actions of our members. If you choose to join the Order of Celestial Integration, it will be your privilege to assist us in co-manifestation of these prophecies. You will be a co-creator, not a mere follower. You will not be subjected to an apocalypse. Instead, you will join with us to build humanity's salvation. Our Messiah is here to tell you that you can save yourself. We are all here to help you toward that end. Together, we will co-manifest a future better than any other currently imaginable. Skins of Iron. From the deep trenches of Marybird Land in the former ice shelf of western Antarctica, a new entity is coming into being. He sits motionless, deep in meditation, in a buried laboratory made of concrete and tempered bulletproof glass. Every few months he awakens from his hibernation. The chamber decompresses with a small blast of condensation and air. He sits up quietly, with less pain, less feeling. This is the man we call the Prime Initiate. He's replaced his entire body, his bones, his skin, his organs, with a durable metal frame. A supercooled computer network replaces his nervous system. After many decades, the only flesh left in him birthed by his biological mother is his brain. Everything else is machine. Now that he has achieved all but the very end of his aims, he realizes that he is not yet prepared to make the final change. Not yet. So instead he aims to fulfill his prophetic charge by creating new life. He has left his chamber to begin experiments using the accumulated DNA of the blood of the members of the Order. He aims to genetically engineer a new kind of human, one whose genetics do not die of natural causes, whose immune system is pre-programmed with antibody protection for all known diseases, whose likelihood of cancer has been reduced to nil. In short, this new human, Lucifer Sophia, will be as close to immortal as is genetically possible. She will be the future of the Order, a second path, another way to eternal life. As his body is made of a metallic shell, so will she grow as a fetus in a metal ectogenesis chamber. She will grow up in a metal-skinned lab, learning the teachings of the Order. One day she will lead humanity into space, traveling everywhere in metal-walled craft, planting steel-framed settlements on distant planets. His body, her birth chamber, the future craft of the people, they are all skins of iron. Our technology will release our manifest potential through her. Swimming in the void. It is rumored that life began in a primordial soup beneath the oceans. It likely first appeared in undersea vents, where even now bacteria grow in the intense heat and pressure. The common theory says that by some unknown process, organic molecules like hydrocarbons, phosphorus, compounds, salts, and amino acids reverse killed themselves by combining into some proto-life form. From lifelessness, life occurred. This process is called ectogenesis, life from nothing. It blows the mind to consider it, and yet simple reasoning demands that it must have happened. In that vein, the technology we will use to create new human beings will be called ectogenesis chambers. In these hermetically sealed devices, we will curate and grow new humans, even a new humanity. When life came into being, it found itself in an impossibly large infinite space. Without senses to apprehend the world around it, these single-celled organisms reached out in all directions to find the resources necessary to keep themselves living. In that sense, our ancient ancestors were swimming in the void. Their continued existence was dependent upon them reaching into the unknown. Without this necessary exploration, they would have starved to death. We know from life's continued existence that they did not fail. Fast forward millions of generations, and you get to human beings, still reaching out, still expanding and exploring, and all still swimming in the void. In this spirit, we will venture into outer space. We will continue to expand the horizon. We will continue to confront the limitless boundary, transcending our enclosure. We are the children of the first life, the first ectogenesis, and now we will be the creators of life. As our bacterial forebears reached out into nothing, so will we continue to swim in the void. Building your salvation. Your body is your own. Your body is you. So, you can do with it what you will. This simple principle guides our relationship to you. And within the realm of our influence, it will guide our relationship to anyone who would try to deny you. There's no reason to call it a right. It's a self-evident fact. Only by effort, violence, could it possibly be denied you. We don't wish to harm you or control you. You are you are you. From this principle, many conclusions are reached. That you can choose who to sleep with or not to sleep with. That you can approach a pregnancy however you like. You can choose what you want. You can consume what you like. You can alter your body. You can construct of yourself anything you like. Our job is only to encourage you, to assist you, to help you, to trust that you know what is best for you. With that in mind, we offer you the two paths to immortality, technological or biological. We will teach you about our project to build Lucifer's Sophia, to remake our own image, to design ourselves anew. We declare that you are under no obligation from law, from religion, from culture, from philosophy, from ethics, from family, from society or property to submit your body to another. Your only obligation is to fulfill your promises freely given. We encourage you to communicate openly, to be clear, and to follow through. But even all that is up to you. If you lie, you may well suffer the consequence of distrust, but even this is yours to decide. Your salvation is yours to define. Even the definition of salvation is yours to write. Even if you desire to be saved, is your decision. It is all yours. It's your will. It's your body. Take it and do what you will. Earth is a prison. We cannot repeat this enough. The earth is a prison. One of the oldest philosophical questions to plague the minds of human beings is, why are we here? Many religions and philosophies have been put forward as possible answers. Some say that we're here to love. Some say we're supposed to make the most of each day. Some say that we're here to live in service. Some even say we're here to serve ourselves. Our answer to that question is different. We are stuck. We're here to live our lives in endless attachment to this planet. Perhaps we're here because something, God, nature, chaos, put us here. Perhaps we're here by accident. Perhaps there's no way to know. The interesting thing is, no matter the mechanics of how we got here, what we are doing here is consistent. We're alive, and we're stuck. No human being in history has ever permanently left Earth. 1,000 generations have gone by since our evolutionary ancestors walked from the savannah to populate the world. In all that time, every single human being has served a life sentence on this planet. Granted, we've become accustomed to our prison walls. We think of it as home. It's the familiar. It's where we've always been. The earth is a kind of womb. It's a sort of crib. It's the children's ward of a hospital. Still, it hasn't been voluntary. No one ever chose to live here. We didn't choose to remain on Earth. Even the astronauts have been forced by circumstance to return. Out of all the human beings who have died, 100% of them were born on planet Earth. It gives a new perspective on life when we realize all the great people of history were all in the same prison, serving the same time, the same life sentence as us. Michelangelo, Genesis Peorage, the writers of the Bible, Confucius, Siddhartha, Julius Caesar, Hatshepsut, the list goes on. They all did life in the same penitentiary as the worst monsters and criminals of all time. We've got to find a way out at any cost. Even if you do not wish to leave your cell, you deserve to have a choice. The earth is a prison. The Great Escape. One thing leads to another. If the earth is a prison, then perhaps it's time to escape. For the first time in human history, we are close to the technological level necessary to permanently get off of this planet. Since time immemorial, humans have looked up and dreamt of what lies beyond the atmosphere. An endless frontier of unlimited exploration. A dwelling place of gods and angels. The ether, the cosmos, the home of the Most High God. Well, now is an opportunity to fulfill these ancient dreams. There's an entire universe out there waiting for us to explore, so let's build the tower and ride the space elevator into a future of infinite possibilities. But let's not stop at space. Let us break down every wall meant to enclose and limit us. Let's unleash the awesome power of our fertile imagination to create and discover that which has never been seen. Let's boldly go forth into new sexual realities, governed only by mindful consent, into new understandings of human gender and social relationships. Let's destroy every chain, every cell, every fortress built to contain and limit us. Let us tear down the ancient shackles of culture, of religion, philosophy, ideology, of preconceived patterns, of genre, of form, of medium, of speech. Let's escape the untold myriad cultural prisons designed by the conservative, the powerful, and others to destroy and subject those whom they could not understand or make useful to themselves. The earth is a prison and all the norms in it. Let us question, accuse, create, liberate, rend, and release every new concept, every new personality, every new piece of technology. Let us declare a jubilee throughout the earth, forgiving all debt, destroying all borders, erasing all laws, overthrowing capital, moving past property, and going forth in an unfettered freedom between free and equal partners. Infinite frontier. The universe expands in every direction at all times. Not a mere expansion from a central point, but a dimensionally transcendent expansion occurring in all directions from every point at once. To our knowledge, it has no end, though there is a horizon beyond which light has never reached. We know that in quantum entanglement, it appears that a particle in one point of the universe is permanently tied to a particle at a faraway distance. This implies that in the appearance of things, even light can be transcended. In metaphor, we too can transcend the appearance of things. Imagine for a moment your brain processing what is around you. Let us assume that there's an objective reality out there. Though it exists beyond our mind, it still must be reckoned through the process of our mind. All evidence appears that this would be in the physical meat of our brain and nerves. The stimulus from the outside world must undergo a process of transformation to be translated in a form that our brain and nerves can work with. This limits our direct understanding of reality. Since our ability to understand reality is limited by this process of transformation, and since all outside stimulus is communicated to us at a pace slower than the speed of light, it is salient to conclude that everything we see, hear, feel, smell, and taste is a rendition of the past. It is not current information. Yet it continually presents itself to us. The eternally transformed mind, ear, eye universe is constantly being processed and only becomes real after it actually exists. To transform reality, we must find a way to cut it off at the pass. We must move beyond mere reactivity. We must make educated estimations about where the transformed mind, ear, eye matrix will be in the future. We must take that estimation and act upon reality to transform it towards our ends. In so doing, we will make a new reality, a reality which could not have existed if we relied strictly on reactivity, feeling, external motivation. When we breach beyond mere reactivity, we control and create reality itself, and in so doing, we birth the infinite frontier. From that point on is what we will. It becomes a mirror, an image of ourselves. Taming death. You do not have to die. I don't mean that in the spiritual sense. I'm not some Holy Spirit selling you false hope in a bow, telling you if only you believe that you'll live forever in heaven with the Lord. Besides, that Holy Spirit, if anything, is fucking evil anyway. No, what I meant is literal, physical magic. By magic, I don't mean Las Vegas card tricks, nor do I mean the elevated Thelemic masters, Freemasonic rituals, or Golden Dawn mysteries. No, I mean the physicalization of our will as manifested from the construction of our spirit, another word for mind. In other words, something of which we conceive and then through will make physically real. I'm saying you, your body, that person you've always thought of yourself as being, does not have to die. Period. There are two primary means at our disposal to achieve this end. Number one, technological, technotheos. We can augment and improve the physical body with technology to radically extend and theoretically infinitely extend our lives. Maybe through some kind of stasis chamber, or by making alterations as cyborgs, or perhaps completely replacing our physical selves with a machine, bit by bit, until we are materially, totally replaced. Number two, biological, biotheos. This is even more promising. The basic idea is through cloning and genetic engineering, we can drastically increase longevity while minimizing the effects of disease. In theory, we can create a new human, one who never has to die. Perhaps she can die if she chooses, but her body will not kill itself under any circumstances. It is our will to do this magic work. We call her Lucifer Sophia. She is wisdom, the bringer of light. One day our organization will ensure that she exists and will provide her the means to continue living forever. We also give you this right and duty and ability. If you join us, you can help us make the necessary discoveries to manifest these two paths. Join us in remaking the human race, voluntarily, into a being beyond death itself. God's reign in heaven. Not God's reign in heaven, God's reign in heaven. Specifically, us. As we learn to break the boundary limiting us through reactivity, and we use this breach to expand our influence on the world around us, our way of thinking will expand with it. More people will feel themselves connected to it. More individuals will align themselves with our movement. Naturally, this means more will join the order. As we have already presented here, this means they will join us in our quest to reach beyond the earth. They will put the best of their mind into creating and expanding the boundaries and definitions of humanity. They will make great works. They will refuse to concede. They will empower themselves. They will work to conquer death once and for all. We will find ourselves in a position of true freedom, liberated beyond the boundaries of culture, of reactivity, of physical space, of the cause and effect of linear time itself. With a techno-economic revolution all around us, with a mandate to do as we will and live as we must, as immortal physical beings forever. When we reach this reified state, we will be as gods. We will do as we will, when we want, obeying only the law of consent, expressing ourselves in freedom with equality toward one another into the ever further reaches of undiscovered space. We will remake the surfaces of every planet and asteroid in our image. We will find bold new ways to live. We will fuck who we want, when we want, as any gender or no gender, in every area we like, so long as we live. We will plant ourselves upon eternity itself. We will strike our claim upon the innermost sanctum of our heart. We will become unconquerable. We will live as gods forever. Join us. Creating ourselves. This is the end of our journey for now. We've come to the rational conclusion of all this. What do we do once we transform ourselves? Build our own salvation? Expand into reality? Travel into space? Push beyond our boundaries? Create our future? Conquer death? Live as gods? You tell me. It's your story now. You are your own creator. Write the story yourself. Ave Lucifer, Ave Chaos, Ave Materia, Ave Order, Ave Self. Our 6 foundations: 1, Materia; 2, our members; 3, the Tower; 4, achieving Godhood; 5, the Great Frontier; 6, Lucifer Sophia. Continuing on to the next book, Monoliths. Monoliths. Transpire House. A prototype house designed on the principles of resource efficiency and sustainable living. Located in less habitable environs, Transpire is a palace of intention. It is an archetype as well as a physical solution to the problems of space and economy. By erecting geometrically beautiful low-cost housing, our aim is to demonstrate the synthesis of technology and ecology. Transpire House is a living building designed to continue to be designed. The house will feature a studio for art and performance work. It will be heated primarily by passive solar. The electricity of the house will be generated by a combination of geothermal, solar, and wind tech. The purpose of Transpire House is to be an example of the possibilities afforded humanity when land previously treated as uninhabitable is made livable through intentional design. Clockwork Garden. A tall, enclosed garden built like a sculpture into a pyramid-shaped helix. The garden is a combination of engineering and artistry. The garden is mounted on a series of gears attached to automated fixtures. The garden beds are placed to rotate for maximum sunlight throughout the year. They are programmed to regulate heat. They are programmed to decipher when watering and fertilizing is necessary. The garden will plant, tend, and harvest food on a pre-programmed schedule. It will update its software from time to time to adjust for local changes. The Clockwork Garden is a living example of the symbiosis between technology and ecology, life and forge. The Temple of Lucifer Sophia. Temple of Lucifer Sophia is a multi-dimensional work of art. It exemplifies the ideas of the Order. It displays our message to the public. The temple is a structure built by the Order. It contains paintings, sculptures, films, and electronics. The temple is a real architectural space. It can be stood within. It's an art gallery and a place of worship. It points humanity towards our goals. In the Temple of Lucifer Sophia, all available means will be used to create a living space. It's a metaphor for itself. The temple will demonstrate our ability to transform materia into Lucifer Sophia by our own will through intentional action. The Temple of Lucifer Sophia will be a demonstration of the power of intention to transform materia, even while it teaches others to do the same. The Tower. The Tower is a space elevator. It will be built to transport necessary goods out of orbit without resorting to burn fuel. This will allow artificially intelligent mining bots to bring back rare earth elements from the asteroid belt. It will allow for minimal waste production, bringing goods to orbit. The tower will be powered by geothermal energy. Its foundation will be built deep into the earth and will double as a means to bring the heat of the earth's mantle to a power station. The power station will energize the system of gears and pulleys that transport necessary goods to space. Though a large initial expense, the construction of the tower will minimize the need for rockets and carbon-based fuels. It will radically restructure our means of travel. It will open new opportunities for international cooperation. It will ease our transition to space. The Utopia Machine. Building on the concept of the Clockwork Garden, the Utopia Machine is a fourth-dimensional computer designed to become housing through an act of progressive self-creation. Initially, it starts as a small box with a solar panel. Once turned on, it is designed to connect to a satellite to determine its location. Using this information, it determines what materials are in its immediate surroundings. It then creates a plan to progressively expand itself as efficiently as possible. It scans the immediate area, creates a blueprint for construction, diagnoses available resources, and begins to alter itself until it is a complete home. The home should have the ability to access water and energy sustainably. It should also begin growing a garden based upon local climate conditions. At the completion of the process of self-creation, human beings will move in. Then, as its last unique act, it will create the quote-unquote seed of another Utopia machine. This can then be given to another needy family. The coldest superconductor. A perfectly conductive, extremely cold substance which can be electrically tuned at will. Imagine a microscopically thin film made of gas. As one atom of this film is electrically polarized, all the other electrons on all the other atoms are simultaneously polarized as well. At its extreme temperature and in this specific arrangement, electrons can be forced to accelerate to a maximum speed or stop completely at will. The entire film would react at once. This can have numerous uses, including communication and battery making, as well as others. The Dawn Rider. An object orbiting a black hole which uses gravitational power to alter its distance from the event horizon. By changing its velocity and distance, it can see the past and present co-chronologically. Further exploitation of the extreme gravitational conditions allows for quantum entanglement of moments coexistent across different times. This does not allow for macrological time travel, but does allow for encoded messages to simultaneously manifest in multiple timelines. Moving on to one last short book, APOCALYPSO, Secret Dance of the Initiates. APOCALYPSO, the Clockwork Garden. A clock which acts as a surrogate farmer. Not only utilitarian but beautiful to behold, the apparatus keeps a hermit alive without the need for society or labor. The Intelligent Machine. Humanity creates a thoughtless automaton which can maintain itself. It replicates and expands until it covers the whole earth. Humans become trapped within it. The Blazing Star. In some distant place in time, a magnetic flare knocks it all offline. The future is ourselves. We return from the future as holographic projections. We're trying to prevent the catastrophe, but we can't understand the patterns. The collective consciousness. Our projections bury revelations in our primate ancestors' subconscious. The path to self-discovery becomes a path to solve time's puzzle. The Archaic Revival. The new creation happens and happens and happens. Nietzsche's dream and nightmare. From astronauts we become pharaohs. Our priests guide the secrets. Culture Bomb. Culture becomes the vehicle of future truth. We act out the play without knowing its meaning. We become ourselves. The discovery is made. We are not humans with intelligence. We are intelligence in humans. We come from intelligence. We create intelligence. An endless progressive march. Children of the Sun. We bring the light to the universe, our intelligence, ourselves. In becoming the light, we transcend our star. We bring the sun as a gift to other realms. The Unfathomable Gear. Life develops into a fifth-dimensional hyperobject, knowing its past and future. Revealing its and the universe's demise, it desperately dreams, seeking to avoid annihilation. The Endless Dream. The timeline is a rumination, the hyperobject creating and recreating life eternally in mind in an effort to avoid death. Humanity as one emanation of the rumination, constantly recreating every moment in every moment. APOCALYPSO, the Adept. There exists a group of unknown individuals who attempt to control the dream. The priests who possess the secret in communication with ourselves from the future. The Great Catastrophe. The Adept discovers a catastrophe which they desperately attempt to avoid. Collective Will. The Adept enter trance states in order to study our pasts. They hibernate, hoping to find a piece of information that can be used to avert the catastrophe. There is a spiral of self-reflection. Within each dream, humanity climbs again, and so on and so on. Digital Mystics. Each moment is all the past. In every past, the future is contained. In the trance state, we meet with God. God is ourselves. The Mind in Mind. A dream in a dream to avert the end. To dream is to search again. All that we think becomes real. The Word. The Word made flesh? No. The flesh makes the Word, and the Word, being mind, transcends the dream. Who is this? The general seeks to tap the vein. The future, wielded, can bring total victory. The Watchers. They mind the gap. They have one job: avoid the catastrophe. But is the effort to avoid the catastrophe also its cause? Melektaus. The peacock angel refuses to bow. He takes his place upon the throne. The emanations of God appear to stop. We see him fall like a bolt of lightning. He is involved. The thing is broken. The thing is broken. Begging the tower now. Please bring ourselves to earth. We're dying. Let us do it. Thus concludes APOCALYPSO. And with that, thus concludes Section 3.7 of the Book of the Order of Celestial Integration. Next time will be Section 3.8, starting with Bolt Cutters of the Surrogate. I will see you then. Alam.